Has the New England Patriots front office gone completely mad behind the scenes, or are we about to witness the biggest masterstroke in the franchise's recent history? Pay close attention, fans, because what happened in the last few hours has taken absolutely everyone in the NFL by surprise. The free agent market and trade movements behind the scenes are heating up, and what seemed like a calm offseason plan has turned into a real race against the clock for the coaching staff led by Mike Vrabel. When all the sports analysts pointed out that our roster was complete and ready for war, a bombshell dropped in Foxborough, completely changing our front office plans for the coming months. The stark truth is that a devastating injury opened a gigantic hole in one of the most crucial positions in our offense, forcing the team to make extreme decisions immediately. While you thought we were just going to watch the rivals make moves, the Patriots decided to act aggressively behind them. Scenes in the transfer market. Can you feel the sense of urgency that has taken over our team's news? It's impossible to remain indifferent to what's being planned behind the scenes in the administrative department. We're not talking about a simple roster adjustment or a cheap signing to bolster the special teams. We're talking about heavyweight moves involving multi-million-dollar contracts, strategic draft capital trades, and the relentless pursuit of heavyweight veterans who can carry them. Load on crucial third-down games. Something grand is taking shape behind the scenes in Foxborough, and the silence preceding the official announcement only deepens the mystery. Our year has barely begun, and a stunning turnaround has already changed the course of our 2026 season. Welcome to our sacred space for discussion, Die-Hard Patriots fan. I'm your spokesperson on this exciting journey, and just like you, I live and breathe this team's colors 24 hours a day. That's why you need to subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss any live updates, our weekly Q&A sessions, and future fan-led broadcasts when the regular season finally begins. We're building a massive community on our way to 50,000 subscribers, and your presence is crucial to this journey. But before I reveal every detail of these explosive negotiations and analyze the names on the board's table, leave a like and comment below. Which player do you think will be the big surprise for the New England Patriots in 2026? Your opinion is what drives this channel. Honestly, I didn't expect we'd be discussing such an intense scenario right now, but American football doesn't give you a break, and we need to be ready. The new era of Patriots football under Mike Vrabel's leadership has brought back that dormant sense of pride. Everyone wants to be a Patriot again. The players love being part of this organization, and the energy emanating from the mandatory training sessions is completely different from what we've seen in previous years. Forget the apathy that gripped the team between 2020 and 2024. What we are witnessing now is the rebuilding of an empire, a winning and aggressive mentality that doesn't settle for less. Sit comfortably, call your sports-loving friends, and get ready, because the information I'm sharing today will shake up your expectations for the future of our franchise. To fully understand the magnitude of the situation happened at mandatory training camp last Thursday. All eyes were focused on the initial movements of our offense and the attitude of our quarterbacks, but the real drama unfolded in the franchise's medical room. Coach Mike Vrabel went public on June 10th and spoke out about a situation that came as a cold shower to our aspirations. Tight end Julian Hill suffered a serious injury during practice and is officially out for the entire 2026 season. Terrible news for a 6'2", 200-pound athlete who had just signed a 3-year, $15 million contract to be our elite blocker and the second man at the position on the roster. The coach was direct in using terms like devastating and horrible to describe the player's absence, making it clear that the New England Patriots will have to address the depth of that position immediately before the start of training camp, which is only 6 weeks away. Looking at the current market, the scarcity of available tight end players is an absolute problem that worries any conscientious fan. Currently, our roster has players we like, but losing a physical piece of that caliber changes the dynamics of blocking in the running game and reduces tactical options in tight end formations. The coaching staff is watching the remaining young players try to carve out a space, but the truth is that we need an immediate response. The current scenario demands composure from management to find a viable solution without exceeding the league's salary cap. It is precisely in this scenario of need that a veteran name emerges, capable of stabilizing our offense without burning valuable assets. I'm talking about Will Dissly, an athlete known for his imposing physique and undeniable ability to open up paths on the offensive line. Dissly, who has had solid stints with the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Chargers, emerges as the perfect target for a short-term, low-cost contract. If you look closely at the data from the last 4 seasons, he has proven himself an extremely consistent athlete. In 2024, for example, the player had a standout year, recording 50 receptions, 481 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. Last year, playing in only 9 games due to tactical rotations, he saw his numbers drop to 11 receptions, losing ground to the growth of young talents on his former team. But does that matter to us? Of course it matters. The Patriots don't need a receiver who can make acrobatic catches to be the undisputed starter at tight end, but rather a safe haven who can execute aggressive blocking at the line of scrimmage and provide the necessary support for the development of our running game. Bringing in Will Dissly for an affordable price would be the classic move of a mature team that knows how to fill emergency gaps with market intelligence. The other viable internal alternative would be to bet everything on the young Jack Westover, but entering a season with high aspirations without an experienced rotation at tight end is a risk I believe the coaching staff doesn't want to take. In my opinion, going after a proven veteran in the league is not just an option, it's a safety obligation to protect our game plan. While the front office addresses the issue of closed-off areas, the true spectacle of the New England Patriots in 2026 is unfolding at the top of our aerial target map. The team's receiving corps has undergone such an absurd transformation that it sends shivers down the spine of any fan who suffered watching. The offense 2 years ago, we went from a contested rotation with Tyquan Thornton and KJ Osborne to consolidating one of the most feared groups in the NFL. The star of this show is A.J. Brown, the legitimate number 1 receiver our franchise has been searching for. Brown is the perfect definition of a physical and dominant player, capable of lining up anywhere on the field, whether burning defenders on the sidelines or exploiting tight spaces in the slot. Right behind him, Coach Mike Vrabel relies on the consistency of Romeo Doubs as the second wide receiver, in addition to the impressive agility of young Pop Douglas controlling the middle of the field. This trio puts our aerial attack on an elite level, directly rivaling league powerhouses like the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. And we can't forget to mention the intriguing situation of Kayshon Boutte. The athlete decided not to participate in the voluntary offseason workouts, creating rumors of dissatisfaction, but he was present at the mandatory training camp and publicly reiterated his desire to remain wearing the New England jersey. However, with the arrival of stars of the caliber of A.J. Brown and the rise of young players, Boutte finds himself pushed to 4th place on the transfer map. Will he accept this secondary role, or will the front office use him as a bargaining chip until the league's trade deadline? Now pay attention to this detail that many people outside of Foxborough are simply ignoring: the real impact of the latest draft classes under the new coaching staff is paving a road to sustainable long-term success. The level of confidence in this coaching staff is at its highest point in the franchise's recent history because the results are undeniably showing on the field. If previous year's drafts brought questionable pieces, the recent crops under the new management have delivered players who already behave like seasoned veterans in the league. I've followed this team for years and have Rarely seen a secondary as aggressive and talented as our current one. The great defensive highlight goes by the name of safety Craig Woodson. During the last Super Bowl 60, where the Patriots fought bravely, Woodson was simply a monster on the field alongside the spectacular cornerback Christian Gonzalez. The kid recorded 10 total tackles in that game against the Seattle Seahawks, including 3 tackles for loss, demonstrating a game Reading worthy of an elite player and behaving like a true predator in pass coverage. And the best news for his development came with the signing of veteran All-Pro Kevin Byard, who joined the roster with the explicit mission of mentoring the young talent and teaching him all the shortcuts on the field to transform him into the best safety in the NFL, adding to that the strength of running back Trayvon Henderson on offense. It's clear that this team's foundation for the 2026 season is at least 10 wins in the regular season, with a roster structured this way. Our mathematical projection of wins is solid and realistic. We are fully capable of securing for important victories in direct confrontations against the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets in the division. We can easily split the results in the historic series against the Buffalo Bills, in addition to overcoming traditional rivals like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Las Vegas Raiders, Minnesota Vikings, and Denver Broncos playing on our home turf at Gillette Stadium. This guarantees us a base of 9 to 10 wins without major setbacks, positioning us firmly in the fight for a 3rd seed or at least the 5th overall playoff spot in the American Conference. I'm not afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs, and I believe the New England Patriots are just one defensive lineman away from becoming the absolute favorite for the Super Bowl. Signing a veteran edge rusher like Joey Bosa for around $6 or $7 million would be the surgical fit needed to add depth to the unit and act as the ideal mentor for the young Elijah Ponder. The 2026 season promises to be one of the most exciting in our history, and we'll be following every second of this epic journey together. And you, my fellow fan, do you believe the Patriots will surpass 10 wins and dominate the AFC East this year? Leave your detailed analysis in the comments below. Click the like button to support our work, share this video in the team's fan groups, and definitely subscribe to the channel, activating the notification bell so you don't miss any breaking news. Let's go together towards the top of the American football world.